Many women wonder if their digestive system gets changed with menopause, and the short answer is yes, it does. So in this video, I'd like to talk a little bit about how menopause changes your gut, things like indigestion, acid reflux, GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease, bloating, cramps, constipation, diarrhea, all of these things. If we've not met before, my name is Tanya, and I love to bring a mindful eating perspective to all things health and nutrition in a non-diet way. I love to have discussions about all the things that happen to us as we go from perimenopause to menopause, no holds barred. So if this is what you'd like too, I'd love you to hit the bell, subscribe, and let's chat. I'm quickly going to touch on your microbiome, your gut lining, your salivary flow, your stomach acid, and the one thing that none of us can ever get rid of, stress. Now, I'd love to do a basic video about how digestion works, but I wondered if that would be too boring for you. So let me know, pop in the comments if you want a basic video about digestion. A lot of us don't understand that, but I don't know if that's kind of boring. So what changes as we age? Well, I already mentioned our gut microbiota. That changes. Over the years, we've gotten sick. We've had lots of antibiotics. We've had a lot of stress. We have had lots of changes in our diet. Maybe you've traveled. Maybe you have had some trauma and loss in your life. Regular alcohol use, lack of fiber, all of those things can change your gut. Your gut microbiome and the microbiome of your mouth and other areas of the body, including the vagina, they're all regulated by estrogen in some way, shape, or form. And nobody really talks to us about what's happening in that gut lining either. Now, I like to come at all things health and nutrition from an add-in approach. Look for a future video about adding in, because restricting can actually change your gut microbiota too. That means if you're restricting food, you're not building your gut microbiome. Your gut microbiome needs variety in the form of food to be varied, to grow, to flourish, and to be part of your overall health. Gut is super sensitive. The lining is very, very thin and it's covered by mucus. Wait, that probably belongs in the foundations video. One thing we don't think about is salivary flow. We need saliva to digest. And when that flow changes, we can change digestion. Why does that flow change? For many reasons. If you're in menopause and you're on any type of medication, there's a huge chance that you have decreased saliva or dry mouth that really impacts your digestive capacity and your oral environment and your oral health. The cool thing, or maybe not so cool thing about losing saliva is that you may not notice it. You can lose a lot of your saliva and not really notice it. Stress is a big factor in your saliva. And when we have a little less saliva, you might notice a little more difficulty swallowing, food sticking to your teeth, you want to floss a little bit more, among other things. And that can definitely affect your tooth enamel. Your spit is so needed to bring amylase, which is part of starch digestion, into your digestive process. So when you have lower spit, you have less digestive capability. Plus, food gets stuck in here and you might need a lot more water. Total side note here, this is why I like eating mindfully, because it gets your brain in a relaxed state to get that saliva flowing. When you're a mindful eater, you are in a different nervous system state and your digestion can turn on. Another big thing is lower stomach acid as we age. Apparently, we can have a lot less stomach acid as we age. We need stomach acid. This is like a natural sanitizer for your gut. It's going to kill microbes that come into the mouth, whether you're eating out, you've gone on a vacation and there's all kinds of dirty water, and you're drinking it. That sounded gross. Hydrochloric acid is kind of like your little sanitizer for your digestive system. When you have a nice acid stomach, what you're doing is killing microbes that come in via food or water. Your hydrochloric acid also signals other body parts like your pancreas to turn on digestive enzymes. That's another thing we can lack as we age, because we have lower hydrochloric acid, so we might have lower digestive enzymes. Here's where I'm going to stop and direct you to my lemon water video. I'm going to hook it below because many well-meaning health professionals and holistic nutritionists are going to tell you that you should be drinking more acid to up your digestion. And they're not exactly wrong, but that can change a lot of your oral environment. So segue, go down to the YouTube video about lemon water. It's just like vinegar. I'm going to put another one up about drinking vinegar, but really at our age, you need to have some caution and you need to take this all in with your medications. I already touched on stress, because when we're stressed, digestion takes a back seat. I don't know about you, but at this stage of life, I have a lot of stress. I think we all do. Whether you have children or not, maybe you're still in a career, you're career transitioning, you're caring for parents, maybe you're losing parents, changing relationships. It's an endless amount of stress that can come with menopause. And the drop of hormones can have those moods change as well. You may not have the stress resilience that you once had when you were in your 30s, your 20s, your 40s, heck, even last year. All of this can be wrapped up into some things that will change your digestion and change the way you absorb nutrients. If you're on a calorie restricted diet and you have digestive issues, you may not be feeding your body and putting nutrition in the bank for the future as far as your bones, your muscles, and even your brain health. Plus, you're gonna have a larger chance of less beneficial bacteria living down here. The whole gut microbiome changes. You can have more endotoxins, and that's bacterial off-gassing or die-off that happens within us naturally, but it can increase if you don't have all things working as best you can when it comes to your digestion. And this is so important because we have a gut-brain axis, we have a gut-skin axis, and we even have a gut-joint axis. There's an axis attached to the gut everywhere, it seems. You've probably already heard that the gut is the foundation to everything, and it really seems to be so. And we're going to be learning more and more about the gut microbiome as science emerges. Holistic health circles talk about what to eat and what not to eat, and that is so personal for all of us, depending on your food preferences, your cultural background, and even your history with dieting and disordered eating. That is so individual. Many are tempted to go on a huge elimination diet to take out certain food groups because they think it's going to change their gut microbiome. And it might, but it also might cause a lot of diety thoughts too. That's a complicated topic because a lot of us have gone on elimination diets really with the goal to lose weight. And as we age, eliminating a lot of foods, as I mentioned, can cause harm in the long run, not just physically, but emotionally as well. So what do you do if you want to boost your gut health? You can use the add-in approach. Again, that's an upcoming video. I'm going to link it below when I get that done. Adding in is the best way to start changing your health because it's sustainable and doable. I'll be sharing some easy things to add in for your digestive health in menopause at any time, really, in my next video. Until then, have a great day.